Hello and welcome. As today's date comes in that of Saturday, it is the 10th day of October 2020. My name is Derek. This is the Money Charts channel. Like we're always, all bets, trades, and of the like. That's within each's own risk and their own reward. We'll take a look at Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance in this particular video, and we'll start off within the daily term time frame for that of Bitcoin. Prices in at 11,390. We have seen a break a couple days ago getting above the 18 average of highs October the 8th, but more importantly, follow through yesterday and today. Yesterday is such a productive day. Not the greatest of volatility, but yeah, normal volatility, a gain of 1.1%. But today, right now, up 3.25, 3.33-ish area, getting above the resistance on September 19th area, or also at highs not seen since it was falling on September the 2nd. Now, as it goes within these Fibonacci lines and levels that I put in, and these are lines I put in a long time ago, after back from this high and this low, so it would have been as it was running up, I was going through these lines. Oh yeah, we're not resisting this. And my videos will talk about it back in here. Oh, and then we support it. Okay, we're looking like we go to the next key level. Yep. Oh, we've had no resistance whatsoever. Okay, as we're going up, yeah, we're probably going to go up to 98, and we did. Oh, no resistance again. Probably go up to 12.8. Oh, yep, we did. Back to support, back to resistance, back to support, close to resistance, back to support. And then there's our breakdown on this. So now I'm going to be looking for this area of resistance. Oh, there it is on October the 26th. And it's telling me that's going to go down to 63.42 with what it's been happening. So that's what the market statement was telling me. And, well, looks like we've seen that happen. Piercing above it, albeit. And then we come back this year. We resist this level, support it, but pierce extra. Now we're falling back from it. And ooh, what a pullback it was. We not only go through this level, but we also go through and pierce wildly through the next one. And now on our way back up, we congest and resist this area, support left off from it, have a nice clear move to this key 9,800 level where it resisted so magnificently. And then it breaks it clearly, and we have a move. No, it doesn't make it to previous high or next key level. So interesting here, and this was a spot August the 17th. It looked like it was supposed to break out from. Never got through. Had it done so, it would have looked like an obvious break above that level. But as it goes, that never happened. And then even just another 10 bit before the big fall here, really just a small failed breakup, but nothing big. So this to me is a case of the very rare piercing way noticeably less, let alone less period. So that's as it is. But the support level, it's just very interesting here. 2 days on September the 5th and September the 8th. Oh, pretty much exact hits. The low on September the 5th, 9,813. I got 14 in there. And then this one was 19 and change, so basically 98.20 as the low. Okay, so 2 days in which it found support pretty much at that exact level. And what we've done from there is consolidate that move pretty much successfully. We established this high. Until today, we haven't gotten above it. We come down and we establish this low, which it obviously highered it and such on October 1st and 2nd. But throughout this entire period, as it comes back into the 18 average on September the 24th, but even as it did on the 21st, spending this entire run correcting within such, and we can see that we've had an exitation spot. So I'd be looking at key Fibonacci from the October 8th breakout, or even the lows from here, the lows from down in here. But I gotta think probably the breakout from October 8th, and really you're looking to be holding this little key area. And the 18 average on the daily, I think, is unless this thing goes sky high fly, which means big, and then you go like weekly, monthly. That I would be looking at the 18 for this to be how well will this correct within, like how successful and such. But to me, looking pretty good. I've now changed the time frame to bit stale because I like to keep those lines in there, and then I don't have to, because I like to remove drawings, which I will now start to do in here. So within such, we can take a look at this on the 4-hour term, and we'll put in just a key little bits of lines in here. So we had this little resistance in here, and it's gotten by all of it, and nicely and convincingly. So as far as where would we do the key breakout lows, well, we got, well, it's tough. You could either want to go with the lows here on as a key one, 10,535. So you basically take high divided by that number, or you could, I wouldn't take either of those lows. It would either be this one or this one in here at around 98.70 or so. But again, breaking out above this, holding it, coming back and holding these key areas, because this will air these two lines that I drew in, and it's even pierced less on that, like 10.8 low. If it comes back to this area, you'd be higher lowing some key levels as was 10.5 and then 10.36 or 10,370 and again 10,540. That higher lowing that, and you'd want to do so at like 10,008 or above. And the higher this goes, then that number I would state would be higher. So if this thing just again goes to sky high fly, I don't know why I said it like that. Interesting words together, I suppose. But if it does such to like 12, 8, 11, 8, 11, 9, oh, I don't want to see it hold 10, 8 now. I want to see it, I'd be like, well, if it goes to like 12, 5, I want to see it now come back and hold like 11, 2, 11, 3 at this level. And then, of course, if this has a clear break above 12, 3, we go to like 14, 4, 14, 6. Well, now I want to see it hold 12,000 low change. Stuff like that. And as it goes, I did one of those... I guess I got to go back to it. Things where I accidentally removed the symbols, so I guess I'm going to know how to remove that. But apparently what you can do within them is have it so that I guess you can maybe watch it on a different time frame. Maybe I can have the daily. That seems to be pretty cool thing now to get rid of that. I was just fooling around. It took forever to get what the appearance to look where I want it to, and indicator name label. That's what I want to. There we go. So if there's just something to look at, if you're using the 18 averages, let me just see if I can make it look that way, because I'm curious now. We're gonna get to the weekly chart, but how would say the 18 look on this, say, upwards on the monthly? Okay, interesting. And then, oh, that's damn cool. That's damn cool. Okay. So in this, when you got your averages in here, so you can, there's a look at this is what the 18 average on the monthly term would look like. Of course, I'm just going to edit this back so that this is something I would almost have to like just put in when I'd want to. I think would be the way of doing it. But yeah, it's pretty cool though. As it goes within the weekly chart, and that was just a weird time just switch. I've been talking a lot about these higher lows, and I mean, still got to clearly get above it. I mean, we had these lower highs, but I mean, the last move kind of puts that word into that of had this that being the last move, the rally higher. As in, when I take a look at this even further, when we look at the lows, I mean, just beautiful up run here. So we have this low, way higher than whichever low you picked down here. And then this low in here, which proceeded within this. So we've had, and then from this low, we've had this little bit. Now the high, we've had this breaking down above this high, and this high is kind of matching, but barely above this. Still barely below this. We really got to get out of that little that's resistance point. And then, oh my goodness, this thing could probably have some major stir high crazy moves. Now, as it originally went before, the highs, and I'm going to use the daily chart to go back on this, and it'll be a little easier to look at it this way. It consistently was making lower highs, as we can see in here. And each single time, we obviously haven't got to this one. It managed to, I mean, this one I barely got above it, but we'll just put this together. So this time it comes down here to this high, never even came close to that. And then we have this 12.7, and then it makes a lower higher at 11.5, and then it makes a lower higher. And it was continuous, and it never was able to make a higher high until, of course, it got all the way down to those 3,000 levels. And every time you make lower high, lower high, lower high, you got to get over many of them to start to say, okay, maybe this downtrend might be over. And as it went, we can see just in this general area here of around 10,000, even just this was the biggest of the bunch. 11.3, we had support here on the first day of winter 2017, and that support kind of congested later, supported and resisted. When I say congested, it means doing both. Supporting and resisting an area. Then it resists that area. And then, of course, we haven't seen it until the now time frame. But there we have it. That big move gets up to that point. So we got above all of those highs. And then, okay, so now we get to it. Now you hold. Now let's not go down much and hold this area. And it had this move, but the recovery on it, this is where it held and stayed above around 6,800 or so. Yes, it had that brief period, but that's why I use the words hold, stay above, because if you have that brief move, it was call it a fake it, if you will. There was limited trading available. If you're able to buy at those cheaper prices, very much congratulations. I did know somebody who was able to get a little piece of that, so that was good. And that as it goes, and you see it's holding in that area. We've resisted that key point, but if we can get above it, I mean, holy crap, this thing, like you see, if this thing goes 12.3, I mean, it's just going to probably go fly sky high. Maybe that sounds better, but Bitcoin, it's just, Bitcoin dominance will be next, but I haven't shown all my time frames that I want to still finish this off with. Really, only the monthly is the last one to go, but as we can see, nice breakout on the daily, the weekly. I haven't gone through this too much. There's the failed breakdown in here. You go down below 66 or so, comes down, and then just a few periods well above. I mean, this 4,000 and below 5,000 was really fast, and there wasn't even much of the under 6,000, and then just sky flying again from 6,000 to 9,000, and then what do we now see? To me, it's got the attempt. It's been holding the 18 for 5 weeks now. This is an amazing setup if it's able to get above. And I think getting above at around 12,000 low change is noticeable. You're noticeably in that area breaking above. And in final, this is really just a sideways consolidation. And a pretty extreme one at that. There's resistance. We've only been there once. And support. And we've only been there, I could say twice. Make a case for twice once. The failed move almost got there. But it's a sideways move. And we've had the sideways move before, not that long ago. Before we came down in here. And then we had the same. I mean, this is a lot of this is acting very similar to as it did before. You have your big rally that goes up to the key high. And then in this case, both cases, just one decent leg lower, but some time to do it. Blimp, and then blimp. And then your sideways consolidation here, your sideways consolidation here. And then your retracement from the previous high. And right now, that's what we've been into this mode. But we can see getting out above the 18 average of highs and a clear break is like 15,000 almost. And this is noticeably damn close to previous high. And when you break it, and you can see what happened when we broke it in April of 2017, OMG kind of moment, it broke 1,200 or so, and it made it to 20. Well, there's a 15 or so X move from previous high, let alone the bigger move from these lower points in retracement areas, which is where we are. Retracement area from 20,000, course down to the 33. Bitcoin dominance is next. And as it goes on the monthly, I mean, Bitcoin back, 99% all Bitcoin, yeah, of course. And then 2017 changed everything. It goes from like 96 all the way down in this number, based on the calculated by TradingView, 35%. back up to 71, and now it's a 60% Bitcoin dominance. So 3/5 of the market cap is Bitcoin, and 2/5 is everything added collectively together. Is it going to break down and go much lower? Maybe. I mean, we've had key high, key low, and we've had this high established right now. It could establish a higher one and still be a lower high or a matching high. Well, matching high would be just getting back there, but and then if it goes back down, we'll have retracement from this high to this low. Maybe it higher lows it. Maybe this is the low and it goes higher. I mean, of course, time will tell within such. I think it's going to go lower, but that's just my thinking. But short term, it does look to me as if there could be some problem moves. Now, it hasn't been for it to, it looks like it's going to go up basically short term. But the question is, it'll be from how much? Well, probably up to about here. But who knows? I mean, that's what I say, when you go to the long-term stuff, and if this thing breaks out above, we go to 80, it goes to 80. If this thing makes another leg lower, then we go to 49, whatever. That's what's basically going to be going down, is whatever happens. But from this down move, it is just consolidated for a few periods in a row. There's really not much in here, but the daily chart is where, to me, it gets interesting. And it still has to, it's just giving the setup is all it's doing. Because it has been, and since this failed, really double failed move. If you want to, I don't know if you want to count this line, but since the last rally on this, which is back in May, it has been sustained in a lower high, lower low move. It really hasn't had nothing above the 18 highs, and has spent a lot of time below the 18 of lows. Had a little bit of a break in here, but no, it's a two days to get up here. It barely consolidated that well, in the sense of it wasn't able to extend its original day's gains, and then it didn't support the 18 lows well when it got there, and in turn after such made 1, 2, 3 lower lows, 1, 2, and 3. Getting above in here, but this time matching low, getting above in here, lower to this, but huge higher low on this one, which in turn made the 18 start to rise barely, and really more neutral more than anything. But this is the setup of, and this is for any type of chart. If I see something like this, a big down move like this, many periods, many resistance hits amongst such, doesn't do well above it. And I can see in here there really wasn't many capitulation modes, just a little bit here, because every time it got below the 18 lows, it'd make a little bit of a leg lower and then get to the highs, and so on and so forth. But when you have a spot where you see like gets above, like just sideways movement, then you have a resistance established, you support the lows, you retest established, and then you see in it hold, just even this, like this is like supporting this here. So this little bit of resistance is now being supported. So you can see, maybe you might have went long going on a level like this, breaking above, and you have your stop maybe below here somewhere. Maybe you haven't been yet. Maybe you're like, okay, I wanted to see this happen first, and you see more continuation bullish sides on this. Then if it does break above this, then we probably make a move. Well, I'm not going to say 62.58 because there's a line there, but it is previous support. And that's exactly what I would be looking for if I see rally high, that all of this going down, that, okay, we've higher load, all of these levels here, we've higher low this, and this. And now we've got retracement from this high, retracement from this high. So, and we got this level of support. So for now, the next move would be basically towards where that line would be. And then, okay, we'll see what happens from there. And if you were just waiting for a setup, okay, one way as a trader, I'm not saying you can trade this, but anything like this, you see it starting to rally, maybe you put it in a long position, you sell up here, and then you're done. And that's just basically it. And again, risk-reward management, different types of strategies is what you look to go for. I'm not really into trading markets like the traditional day trading type of view. All the stuff in the more information box is pretty much all or mostly that I do for trading. I'm at the stage now where I'm been doing a lot of fantasy sports. And on DraftKings, they literally have it so you can bet on a video game, which is where I think my profit is now that the hockey season is an off season and has come to a conclusion. And I can use mathematics and data to decide how I'm going to play. So you have lineups where you have to draft a quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, a tight end, a flex position, and a defensive position. And today's the first day where I'm going to be tracking results and doing stuff with my best lineups as they do. So you'd have to put a quarterback for the other game, put Matthew Stafford in a Madden video games Jones He's a good Jones. Which Jones would that be? That's a Jones on Green Bay. Bell, running back on the New York Jets. Julio Jones, Galladay of Detroit. Danny Amendola. Hawkinson on Detroit. Conley, wide receiver of the Green Bay defense. And then tonight, Dak Prescott at quarterback with Ekeler, Dobbins, Mari Cooper, Johnson, one of the Johnsons. There's a few Johnsons in the league. Lamb, Jarman. I got Johnson's story anyway. Mostert, Chargers, and just go different things. Like I got all the different stats. There's Jimmy Garoppolo, whole bunch of different stats that he has, and I use these to my advantage. And about the story to end this video, about I'm trying to remember where I was at the time. I would have been about 2006, 7 maybe. So 13 years ago, 13, 14 years ago. I'm in a fantasy football team, and there's a team named called the Johnsons. And his first one, he picked guys like Calvin Johnson, and he literally picked Johnson with every pick. Every single pick, he took a Johnson. Didn't do so well. And early on, you really didn't realize what was going on to like round 3, 4. Like, what the heck is going on? Because we have you picked Calvin Johnson early on, who's like one of the stud receivers, and all the best Johnsons that were available right off the bat. And then it was getting to the point like, okay, who was you? It was kind of funny anyway. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.